Hello, this is Brandon P.T. Davis, theatrical scenic designer. This Vectorworks tutorial is going to cover the basics tool palette and how it's applied to two-dimensional drawing. The basics tool palette is located in the top left corner of my Vectorworks workspace. If you aren't familiar with the Vectorworks icon, you can hover over each icon and a text will pop up. You can also click the down arrow and change from icons to icons in text. In this tutorial, I'm going to use Vectorworks View tools as icons. The first tool we will talk about is the selection tool. The selection tool is what allows users to move or modify objects on the screen. You can access this by clicking on the icon or hitting the letter X. Now that I have the selection icon, I can hover over this object and note that it will highlight around the perimeter. By clicking once, I now have access to the snapping points because I have the snapping palette turned on. With the snapping points, I can modify this shape. The next tool we will cover is the pan tool. By clicking on the pan tool, you are able to pan throughout your work area. Note the hotkey for the pan tool is the letter H. Think letter H for hand. In the icon of the pan tool, you will notice a black arrow in the corner. If you click and hold on any of the icons with the black arrow, you can have additional features. This additional feature in this example is Move Page. In our workspace, we do not have an active page, so we will not worry about this feature. The Zoom tool is the magnifying glass icon. When clicking on this, you can zoom interactively or with the zoom marquee mode by making a selection and click once. You can also access the zoom tool with a 3-button mouse. A hotkey for the zoom tool is the letter C. When adding text to your document, you can access the text tool by hitting the number 1 or clicking on the icon. You can apply the text tool just by clicking and starting and typing your text. To change the text style, font, or size, you can access these items in the Object Info palette. You can also change the text in the text drop-down menu. The 2D Locus tool, which is the icon that looks like the letter X, is located here. A 2D locus is simply a reference point that can be used in Vectorworks when drawing. This document contains a red 2D locus at 0, 0, as this reference is very common when working in theatrical practice. The benefit of a 2D locus is it allows you to have a point that's viewable on the screen, but not printable on the page. The hotkey for the 2D locus is the letter 0. One of the most common tools you will use in Vectorworks is the Line tool. The Line tool simply draws a 2D line. You can access the Line tool by clicking the icon or pressing the number 2 on the keyboard. In addition to the 2D Line tool, you also have the Double Line tool. You can access the Double Line tool by clicking on the icon or hitting Alt 2. The Double Line tool allows the user to draw 2 lines with a separation. This separation is currently set to 1 inch. I can click and change the separation to 4 inches. You also have the ability to click on the preferences and change the options from creating polygons, which is a four-sided shape shown, to creating simply just lines. You can also change the mode of the 2D line tool. Currently, it's on the top control line mode. Additionally, you can change this tool from top to accessing through the center. A hotkey to quickly adjust which mode you're working in is by hitting the letter I. The next tool is the rectangle tool. The rectangle tool will draw a four-sided shape with 90-degree angles. The hotkey for the rectangle tool is the number 4. Think 4 sides. The rectangle tool also has a series of modes. The primary mode is corner to corner. Also change it to corner to middle, midpoint to midpoint mode, and my second favorite, the 3-point rectangle mode. The next tool that's related to the rectangle tool is the rounded rectangle tool. This is the icon of the rectangle with the rounded edges. This mode allows you to draw a four-sided shape with an eased edge. By clicking on the preferences, you can change the proportional corners to symmetrical corners, as well as adjust the diameter of the corners in which you are drawing. The circle tool, which is the icon of the circle, allows you to draw a circle. The current mode for the circle is the radius mode, which is center point to the outer edge. You can also adjust it to diameter mode, 3-point mode. Circle from 3 lines mode requires that you have drawn 3 lines. Once you select the circle with hotkey 6, you can select your 3 points, and the circle will be drawn to fit within those 3 points. Other mode is point to center mode, and tangent and center mode. Please note you can adjust the modes by hitting the letter U. Next to the circle tool icon, you will find the oval tool. The oval tool allows the user to draw an oval. Box mode is the first mode. The box mode is similar to drawing a rectangle with an oval inside. Following the box mode is the height and width mode. I can draw the width and then the height to create the oval. And the third mode is from the center mode. The hotkey for the oval tool is Alt 6. Next to the oval tool is the arc tool. Arc tool allows you to draw an arc. The most common arc tool mode that I use is the arc radius mode. This mode allows you to draw 2 points and then create the arc from the first point as the center. I use this tool when drawing the graphic for a door swing. Other modes in the arc tool are 3-point mode, tangent to line mode, center mode, as well as specified radius mode, where you can manually enter the radius. The freehand tool, hotkey Alt-5, allows the user to draw an organic shape. With one click, the shape will be smoothed. A tool that's more common for drawing organic shapes is the Polyline tool. The Polyline tool has many different modes when it comes to drawing a polyline. The first mode is the corner vertex mode. This mode will keep all the lines within it, the shape you're creating, at straight. You can also draw in the Bezier vertex mode. The cubic vertex mode, the tangent arc mode, point on arc mode. The last mode in Polyline tools is the arc vertex fillet mode. You can adjust the arc by clicking on the fillet settings and changing the radius. Now when I draw, in each corner will be a 6-inch radius fillet. You can access the Polyline tool by hitting hotkey 5. Please note that when drawing a polyline, you can actually change the modes while you're drawing by hitting the hotkey letter U. This is how you can create a more organic shape but with having control within the software. Next to the Polyline tool, you will find the 2D Polygon tool. The 2D Polygon tool has a similar mode as the Polyline tool, where you can draw a shape using straight lines. The Polygon tool can be accessed by hitting the hotkey 8. The 2D Polygon mode has some interesting features. In order to show you how they function, I have drawn two identical clusters of rectangles. If I click where these two rectangles intersect, it will create another shape. By holding Shift, I can continue to create upon that shape. In the outer boundary mode, I can make the selection around this cluster of squares, and you'll see that it's in a way grouped them together. But if I were to move them, you will see that the original shapes are behind the new shape. The double line polygon tool is very similar in function to the double line tool. The difference is that we have a separation between the two lines. This tool is great if you're trying to create walls in a 2D application. The hotkey for the 2D double line polygon tool is Alt-8. We can modify the separation as well as go into the preferences and change the options to create lines, create polygons, and create lines and polygons. The Fillet tool, which is located here, allows you to take a right angle and soften the edges with a fillet. You can adjust the fillet with the fillet radius here. There's a number of modes of the fillet. There's standard mode, split mode, and trim mode. The hotkey for the fillet mode is 7. Similar to the fillet mode is chamfer mode. The chamfer mode allows you to take two right angles and create a chamfer. Here is a 1-inch chamfer.